it right to the end here. I'm going to give you plenty of information. I know you can't see out that right side. You just do what you do here, buddy. You just do what you do. We're going to do this again. It's smart, safe, and let's bring it home here.
That's Kansas spotter Mike Kalanoff as the green flag waves. 7 laps to go. Junior pushing Kenseth down toward turn 1.
Tell you, that 16 car, though, he is stout. That's a fast car, and he's got a fast car pushing him. We saw Hamlin push to the lead earlier in the race.
4 cars trying to settle among themselves. Kenseth coming to the outside lane to pick up his teammate Biffle, and does. Single file again.
And now they'll go to the bottom. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 88 was fortunate enough to be able to fall back in 4th spot there. I thought he was going to get kicked way out of line.
I did too, but you know what? That is teamwork right there. That's what they didn't have in the 150. Kenseth really helped Biffle out right there by pulling out and getting him and pulling him up there behind him. Now they should be able to settle it probably between themselves.
6 laps to go. On the outside lane, teammates Mark Martin and his new teammate Martin Truex. 2 Toyotas going to try to push their way to the front, but a long way to go to get there.
And Darrell, unless that outside line gets to moving, Matt Kenseth, his best friend right now is that double yellow line.
Oh, I think right now, Larry, everybody say, okay, let's ride right here. Let's hold what we got. Don't anybody panic, because it's going to be a drag race off turn 4. That's where these races have been won every time down here this week. But you can tell Kenseth knows that the yellow line is his friend, man, and he's protecting that bottom. That's all you need to do right now. Make them go by on the outside if they're going to pass you.
5 laps to go.
And here's what's going to happen, Larry. Biffle is he's got to make a decision. Am I going to stay behind my teammate, or am I going to let that 11 push me right past him? That's a question that Biffle's got to sit there and ask himself.
And that's probably the question Matt Kenseth is asking himself about Greg Biffle.
I got to believe that Kenseth is a little skeptical based on the way they raced each other in their qualifying race.
And Denny Hamlin in 3rd in the number 11. Has no friends. 2 Fords, Hamlin's Toyota by itself, and 2 Chevrolets behind. Earnhardt and Burton. More Chevys, Harvick, Menard, Newman, and 14 Tony Stewart.
And there's Tony Stewart's teammate Ryan Newman. Oh, Tony's going around. Another wreck to the tri-oval.
Kyle Busch, hard slide through the grass, no contact. At least half a dozen cars involved in this one. Dave Blaney drives away. That's Kyle Busch. Caution flag number 10 with 4 laps to go. Landon Castle, or excuse me, David Rudiman.
You know, Tony got around, but I don't know if he got a lot of damage or not. I see a lot of body damage and tires that got the side rubbed off them, but the car didn't look that bad once he got it straightened out.
Let's check with Matt.
EW, he just told Steve Addington, I pretty much said that we're going to need tires, but I got it.
Steve Addington, Stewart's new crew chief for 2012.
Let's see what happened. Tony is right back here, and I see him all of a sudden. He gets a little push from behind, maybe from Joey Logano.
He and Stenhouse go around. Newman and Busch.
And Newman and Busch was actually in front of Tony a little bit when that started happening.
Have to take a couple more looks at that.
Kyle Busch went for a long wild ride. Blaney involved.
Let's see here. Here's 39 up here. Right there. Stenhouse got into the side, and Stenhouse in the 6 got into Tony.
I'm not sure, though, that David Gilliland didn't get into the back of Stenhouse and push him up into Tony.
Could have to look at it again.
That's about the 2nd or 3rd wreck we've seen on the exit of the tri-oval. It just starts narrowing up right there.
Cars are really free and loose right through the tri-oval. I'm telling you, you're running 200 miles an hour through there. It's hard to hang on sometime.
You saw there where Kyle Busch in the 18 jumped down in front of Ricky Stenhouse in the 6.
I know Stenhouse hit Tony. I'm not sure if he got forced into him. Here's smoke right out here.
All right, there's Stenhouse with Gilliland behind him.
No, you know what? The 20 car and the 6 car make a little contact.
You're right.
And I'm not sure that didn't move the 6 car up, Stenhouse up just enough that he got into the left rear of Tony Stewart.
So let's regroup here. Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse make contact. Stenhouse moves up into Tony Stewart.
Watch him coming inside here. There you go. Outside, stay down. Lock it down, get it rolling here if you can. Keep coming across at you. Get it rolling here if you can. Leaders are in 2.
I believe the 20 nudged the 6, and then you put him into the side of Tony. That's what it looked to me like may have happened.
Michael, how do you see it?
What do you see, bud?
It just looked like to me that Stenhouse came into the trial over there and had a really good run. He moved up a little bit, and it created contact with the 20. I don't think Joey Logano had anything to do with it. I think Ricky just had a big run, and he didn't know what to do with it.
And there again, Darrell, we talk about closing speed. Ricky Stenhouse had a big run coming up through the pack, ran out of place to go.
Well, and you hit it on the head, up through the pack. And when you get up in the middle of cars like that, you can't, even if you try to slow down, you can't. So you make casual contact, which creates catastrophic results.
Now here's what sets us up though when we go back to racing. Right now it's going to be, as you see, the first attempt at a green-white checkered, and this is going to break the 2 Roush Fenway drivers up, because it's going to be put Kenseth in the 17 on the inside or wherever he chooses, and Biffle to the other side of him in that 16.
Let's have a look at our 5-hour energy move of the race. This long Daytona 500. The Montoya crash with the safety truck under caution, and the tremendous job done by NASCAR and Speedway safety officials to get the fire out, to ensure that no real damage was done to the racing surface and get it back into raceable condition so that we can get this finished.
This is going to be interesting, guys. With Kenseth and Biffle up there on the front row and Hamlin and Earnhardt behind them, we saw in that last restart how Kenseth went up and got his teammate and pulled him down in behind him. Looked like Kenseth's car is pretty quick on the restart. Dale Jr. looked like he lags back a little on the restart. So the restart's going to be the key.
Jamie McMurray back in the race. Danica Patrick in her first Daytona 500. 38th. Laps down, but determined to finish.
Michael, you've been in the race car earlier in the week. You know there's 2 to go. Is this where you just kind of block out those gauges as far as how hot you might be running if you start pushing another driver?
Finally, Larry, we're there. We know we can make it 2 laps, but here's what I bet. They're going to get so aggressive with their pushing, we're going to have to do another green-white checkered, but we're going to do them 2 laps at a time, so it's time to forget about the gauges and put the pedal to the metal and hang on.
So let's review the rules as we come to lap 200. That is the scheduled distance. NASCAR goes into their green-white checkered mode. They'll wave the green flag when the field comes around.